How do I stay safe in the great outdoors as a woman solo hiking? I get asked this all the time.
If you're looking for something a little bit more in depth, I do have a podcast episode that dives into this even more deeply. But if you just want some high level strategies and tips, you are in the right place. I'm going to be going over that with you all while you watch some beautiful clips from my hike to Barkley Lake, which is a super fantastic trail out near Index, Washington. So enjoy the pretty scenery while I chat your ear off. And just a quick reminder, I am a cisgendered white woman, so I'm coming out this with some privilege.
Well, this is a first for me. I am the only person on this entire trail. That's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, last time I was here, it was so cloudy and foggy and rainy, and it's really sunny today. Look at this. That's so pretty.
Okay, so back to the content you're actually here for, which is safety strategies. The most important thing you can do is be as prepared as possible. And that means doing a ton of research beforehand. Like, even before you pack your bag, you need to spend time researching your route, your environment, the weather, wildlife, all of those things so that you can plan ahead for any potential unknowns or things that might come up. The next thing is bringing redundant navigation and communication devices. This could look like a Garmin InReach Mini or some sort of satellite GPS system that allows you to both navigate and communicate with the outside world when you do not have cell service. You never want to rely on just your phone, even if you do have cell service, because anything could happen. You should always have backups for both maps and for communication. Now, the next thing I would say is having a plan that you have shared with a trusted person. So, sharing exactly where you plan to be and when you plan to be there, as well as what time you plan on being back home safely with a trusted person is super important because if anything happens, they need to know when they should start looking for you and where that would be. Now, the last strategy is the most important, and that is listening to your gut and being able to use your body language and your voice in a way that helps de escalate and escape dangerous situations. So, what do I mean by that? When I say listening to your intuition and your gut, I know that sounds like a little woo woo, but it's the number one most important self defense strategy you can employ. Listen to your gut. Don't live in fear, of course, but feel empowered to make decisions based on feelings and feeling strong in your ability to act proactively rather than reactively, if that makes sense. If something is making you feel uncomfortable, whether that's a person, the weather, something you're hearing in the environment, something you're seeing, you need to trust that and be able to get yourself to safety or employ other strategies in order to keep yourself safe. If something feels wrong, it probably is. But that doesn't mean you just immediately grab a weapon and go to town, right? It means standing up confidently, maintaining calm body language, leaving situations that feel unsafe before they even begin or escalate to something more. And a lot of that comes down to body language, using your voice, and really standing in your power. Again, I know this sounds really woo-woo-y, but I highly encourage you to check out Nicole Snell. She's a self-defense expert that has taught me a lot about this. I'll link to her below. But if you do choose to carry self-defense tools on your person, I recommend a pepper spray just like this, not it's more of a pepper gel. I also recommend carrying bear spray. It's good for all predators, if you get what I'm saying, not just bears. I also carry a personal alarm so that you can either, kind of startle people, startle wildlife, or you can also signal for help. People can find you better. And then finally, the last thing I carry on me is a knife. Now, I will say this is not for like battling somebody or wildlife with a knife. This is a deterrent. So I have pulled this out and kind of brandished it to scare somebody off and get them to get away from me. So sometimes that's the most effective tool, is something that's a deterrent rather than actually a tool to be used on somebody or something. And then finally, you need to have the 10 essentials on you at all times so you are as self sufficient as possible and never have to rely on anybody else for anything at all. So if something does happen, you are self-sufficient unless it's actually truly dire and you need to call for help. So the 10 essentials, I'll throw them up on the screen for you. Super great. At the end of the day, bad things can still happen even to the most prepared and experienced outdoorsman. The best you can do is just try to do everything in your power, in your control to stay as safe, proactive, and vigilant as possible. I know it seems scary, but you do belong in the outdoors. Don't let fear, stop you from living your best life and going out and experiencing all the great outdoors have to offer. You can do this.